Comes our prayer. Good morning, everybody, and welcome into this great Sunday. And what a great Sunday it is, and what a great place it is to be in. And so we continue in the month of November, as we have been invited. All of our centers for spiritual living all over the world have been invited to focus on this concept, this thing called wholeness. And I love the way all this works out. We're asked to look at the concept of wholeness and to wrap our spiritual arms around it and see what it is for you and for me in the way we live our lives. And this week we're asked to look at it through the idea of heaven and earth. Heaven and earth. And boy, do we have an opportunity to see heaven on earth in the way things are just now. And so all heaven is, it's that whole thing, it's that one thing, it's the cosmic life of each individual one of us. It is that infinite state of being. It is that invisible power and energy that lights up everything, lives in everything, is in everything, including you and me. And then there's earth. And what earth is the material form of that one cosmic power individualized in each individual expression of itself in form. So we have the material world and the immaterial world to be reckoned with. And for each and every one of us is the challenge to be able to align those two states into one harmonious blend, so that we too can become, as the great masters did, as the great master teacher Jesus did, where he was able to align his humanity with his divinity. And the way he did that is what we're asked to do all the time. Take your mind off what you don't want and put your mind on what you do want. Take your mind off what you're not and put your mind on what you are. And so in his process, he identified more and more and more with his true state and his true essence of being until he came to the point where he knew the Father and I are one. The cosmic life and the material life are blended beautifully in the spiritualized being, which is what conscious Christedness is. And each and every one of us are called into conscious Christedness. And so, of course, once the masters entered that state, they never more then identified with all the nonsense and all the goings-on, all the situations, all the circumstances, and all of the conditions. And they were able to move through all of those. Not that they didn't have to face them, they did. But they moved through them with that poise and with that sovereignty and with that grace and with that ease and with that peace that passes all kinds of understanding. And that's what you and I are called to do too. Never again did any one of these individualized people, consciously knowing who they are and what they are, go into fear. Never, ever experienced fear again after that. Never. They were never afraid after that. Nothing could faze them. Nothing could stop them. Nothing could block them. Nothing could cause them anxiety or fear. So what? What's the worst thing that happened? They could take my life, but they're not taking my life. They're just freeing me to go on to a bigger and more expanded awareness of the true and greatness that I am. So what is there to be afraid of? Myself. There's always myself to be afraid of. That's the only thing you and I ever need be afraid of, my little self, my anxious self, my concerned self, my doubting self, my, hopeless self, whatever all that is. Well, we're not focused on that today. We are focused on what we need to be focused on right now. If ever there was a time for you and for me to be integrated, unified, harmonized, one in everything we're thinking and feeling, it is now. No better time. How would you know, how would I know that I actually benefit from this teaching, from this ancient wisdom that is ever so present always, if I wasn't able to respond to whatever from that awareness and that embodiment? That's what's calling us all in this here and now moment. Here's the thing, the keys to wholeness, which is that which is undivided. Wholeness, that's the one definition in the dictionary I honed in on and loved. Undivided. Wholeness equals undivided. So to have that experience of what it is to be undivided, to have that experience, to behold the incongruence, whatever it is to you or to me, we're not going to know whether or not we are that until something comes up to challenge that. Wholeness. And wholeness is that centered awareness of unity and harmony, that beautiful sense of harmony. I will not go into dissonance. Nobody's going to mess up my chords that are so melodic and so mellifluous and so beautiful. No dissonance shall enter in, because my song is not to be interfered with, and my song is beauteous and magnificent and grand, because it is the individualized toning of the cosmic spheres itself, and nothing is going to stop it and block it and take my good away from me in any shape, way, make, or form, because the keys to the kingdom of harmony lies not within any kind of system, be it political or otherwise, does not lie in any ballot box, that's for sure. But the keys to the kingdom of wholeness and harmony and oneness and unity, they lie in one place and one place alone, and it's right within myself and nowhere else. And so I have been so put to my mettle, as many of us have, to stand in that awareness now and not to go to hell in a handbasket because of all of my crazy imaginings that's going on in my mind now, because of all of the media, etc., out there, and others telling me what's going to be like for me. Nobody can tell me what it's going to be like for my life except me, and nobody will tell me. Nobody. I don't care who it is or what it is. Nobody will tell me how my life is going to be except me. And it's up to me now to decide what that's going to be. So fear not. Fear not. So many times the Master Jesus said, fear not, fear not, fear not. And in every metaphysical book you'll read, they'll say, above all things else, don't get worried. Don't get troubled. Don't allow yourself to go into anxiety, because as sure as day follows night, you will outpicture that, and that's not what we want to outpicture. And regardless of what's going on out there, we will not be moved. We will not be moved from what we know it can be, what we know we want it to be. And this is a grand opportunity for us all to wake up and be able to walk across the aisle once and for all and know, like it or lump it, we belong to each other, each and every one of us. You know, in families, there are great separations and great wars take place in families. The greatest of wars take place under the family roof sometimes. So we just have to get over ourselves now and decide, does the world dictate to me how I'm going to be and how my life is going to progress or not? Am I going to stand in my sovereignty and know, no, nothing good, nothing bad, but thinking makes it so? As disappointed as half of this country is, and as God knows whatever the other half is, because, you know, I'm not going to make 50% of our country people wrong because I'm right. And I don't want them to make me wrong because they're right. Because there is none of that that goes on at the level of the soul, at the level of true intelligence, at the level of the spiritual beingness of you and me. Now, it is what it is, and you and I have to roll up our sleeves and work with it and know good comes out of this. As I said this morning, there's so much manure out there, there's not one pony in there, there's dozens of ponies in there. So we just have to muck through it and let those ponies free. That's what we have to do. That's all we have to do. And you know, the human ego can't help itself, and it should be given the opportunity to express itself and to feel the way it needs to feel. And that cannot be denied, and you have to face that. You have to look into the mirror and say, oh my God, I never thought I could feel so miserable. Or, oh my God, I never thought I could feel so cocky. depending upon where we are in all of this. And let that express itself, and let it wash itself out, and let it wash itself out, and let it wash itself out. But when all is said and done, the world needs you, each and every one of us in this room now, to be what the teaching has been inviting us to be all along. Ernest Holmes says, show me, bring me 1,000 people who know the principles of science of mind, who embody the principles of science of mind, who live as the principles of science of mind. And I will show you a new world and a new heaven on earth. Show me this 100 people, and the world no longer will experience anything of famishness. And there will be a new creation, and there will be a new dawning of a new day. 1,000 people, bring them to me. And he says, I will have lived to have seen this. He's not talking about 1,000 people out there. He's talking about you. He's talking about me. And he says that after that piece. He says, this is personal. This is about you. This is about you. So where do you and I want to be in the supporting and in the knowing the strongest and the greatest good for this land and consequently the world, because we are, like it again or lump it, a global community. If we go according to our teaching, there are no borders. We are all one people. We're all one family. We're all one race, the human race, the people of God. And that's where we have to be in our heads and in our hearts just now. And so this is not the time for anything other than quietness and confidence, because we are told it is in quietness and confidence lies our strength. There will our strength be. And we are strong and we are mighty. Am I concerned about this great land? I am not concerned about this great land. This is the United States of America, and that's what you and I have to be focused on, the united part, the united part, the united part. Is it something we can get ourselves around in our minds and our hearts? Yes, it is something we can get ourselves. Do we want to? Because we have the belligerence of the ego saying, I don't think so. See, that has to stop. One mind, one heart, one body, one soul, one life. That life is God life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. That's where we are with this. That's where you and I have to be with this. And we can't be wishy-washy out there. We will not solve this along the cold plateau of logic and reason. We must go beneath that, above that, below that, higher than that. And if I be lifted up into the higher conscious awareness of life and living, will draw all good through me. And that's where we need to be now, strong and mighty, potent and powerful, not of ourselves, but because we're able to keep a grip on ourselves and allow that which is greater than we are to flow through us. The world needs confidence out there. The world needs lightness out there. The world needs you out there to be that confidence, to be that lightness, to know what you know deep down within your innermost recesses of your truth being. That's what we are being called to represent right here and right now. There's not another place I'd rather be. Heck with Canada, never gave it a thought. Or anywhere else. This is it. This is where I've been planted, and this is where I will grow and continue to grow. And this is where I will bring all that I have within me to support this great concept, this divine idea that was once in the mind of spirit, and the stewardship of which was given to you and given to me. Now, we can either be the good stewards or not. And I am knowing that because of us in the world, all over the world, this world is a better place. That's what I am knowing. And so for all that good that you and I so desire to happen by means of this land and this world, for all of that good to happen, it can only happen by means of you. And let me share, and I'm going to use the direct words of Ernest Holmes now, because it is just always so relevant and so potent. And he says here, in his book called, I love this book, The Essential Ernest Holmes. It's a wonderful book to have. And he says here on page 175, we want peace. We want peace on earth. Then let us pray for peace in our hearts. Let us affirm peace in our own minds. Let us live as though peace were the mandate of God, because it is. Together, let us affirm it, and let us encourage others too. No matter what the opposition appears to be, for it is a fundamental reality of God. Let us face the future without fear, but let us also face it intelligently as men and women who are not afraid of anything. There is nothing in the universe to be afraid of. Some things could be avoided. Let us realize it. If the world is healed of war and brought into peace, it won't have been because of guns getting bigger and better, or more of them in the world. We need them until it does heal itself. But that will come to pass only because somewhere along the line, the balance of the scales of eternal truth shall fall on the side of peace. So let us, you and me, pray for the peace, and let us make our hearts fit to accept it when it comes. And that's what we are challenged with today. You have more power than you ever could imagine. Your significance is of such importance now. Your contribution to the building up of this great country has never been as urgent as it is now. And we have been given the opportunity to put our money where our mouth is when it comes to all of this. Now, we are either going to fall down and be wishy-washy, and we're going to allow appearances and happenings and situations to cause us to go into the doldrums and to cause us to feel less than we can feel or like to feel. Or not, as the case may be. We can let all the rumors of war and all the fear mongers and all of the saber rattlers rattle us up and take away from us our peace. Or not. I was standing in the supermarket yesterday getting some water and things and so on that we need, and one of those raggy papers, World War III on the way. And I'm not even going to tell you all the rest of the stuff that was there. I thought I could lose my appetite now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go home, make my dinner, enjoy it and eat it, and know that great load of rubbish is just rubbish and nothing comes of it. But you see, you can't buy into that. And everywhere you are just now, your energy is going to radiate, and it's either going to lift things up or not. And we all need to be those radiators out there right now, switched on high, so that we can support this peaceful transition that we know is the way to go and the only way to go. And know that God is very real and present help in the midst of all of it. And that which is mightier than any human mind or being or group of beings is in charge, as much as we forget. That's what is in charge. I'm going to also share with you this beautiful piece. Everything falls into place. It's an amazing thing the way it is. This is an old Science of Mind magazine. It belongs to October 2011. And it's always so new and relevant. And it's written, this piece is written by Christian Larson. I love Christian Larson. I've always loved him. See, the original ones who brought this teaching to the fore, they really had a depth of it, and we must never water it down or lose it. I'm inviting you to close your eyes now. Close your eyes and take in every word of this. Take in every word of this. Breathe it in and know it to be true. And this is entitled, Promise Yourself. Promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. To talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet. To make all your friends feel that there is something in them. To look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true. To think only the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. To be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. To forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future. To wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every living creature you meet a smile. To give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others. To be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. To think well of yourself and to proclaim this fact to the world, not in loud words, but in great deeds. To live in faith that the whole world is on your side so long as you are true to the best that is in you. Promise yourself. And so it is. And so, my dear ones, you and I have work to do now. You and I have a whole lot of wonderful energy and amazing grace to get out there and splash all over the place and be the strong, tall tree that never bends in a storm, because you can. The question is, my dear ones, are we up to it? Yes. Are we ready for it? Yes. Are you willing to be it? Yes. And so it is.